of listeners wake up to the mellow sounds of my first guest. You know, it's nothing but love songs on his nationally syndicated radio program. He is also a best-selling author. This is a collection of thoughts called Private Parts. Please welcome Howard Stern.
Jay is very nervous about my appearance here tonight.
I'm not nervous. You always say I'm not nervous about you.
He's very nervous. Jay already came into the room. He told me not to talk about Johnny Carson.
Did I come into your room and tell you that?
Yeah, kind of hinted at it.
I never said a word. You lying. I never said a word. Sit down.
Screw it.
I never. Tell them what. Did I come in? Did I come into your room and say anything? Say right to the camera.
All right, you never said anything.
I never said a word. Thank you very much.
Sit down, Jay.
I can't sit down. This is my way.
First of all, let me just move this here for a second. But let me say something. I want to say something about these two guys. I feel Jay has a competitive problem. I've said this on the show before, Jay. You got to look at these guys, and you're going to tell me that Arsenio's a nice guy and David Letterman is a nice guy. Is that what you're going to say?
Yeah, I'll say that.
You know, and Branford...
Howard, the first thing you said was a lie when you came out tonight. You said I came in and told you not to talk about Johnny, and then I never said anything like that,
but
and
you still do not have the competitive spirit. I really feel that way. Every interview I read, you do not have the competitive spirit.
How many other talk shows have gone off the air?
Well, wait a second. Wait a second.
Who is still on the air?
Well, you are still on the air, and you're doing well. Branford sitting over there. He doesn't care what happens. He's not competitive. Branford, why don't you take this Arsenio poster and rip Arsenio's head off?
You want me to do that? Come over here.
Rip it off.
No, thank you. I'll take this one.
Competitiveness. That's how you got to feel about the whole thing.
No, that's big-time wrestling. That's...
You know, it's unbelievable. And by the way, I want to say that I truly love Branford. Branford is one of the nicest black men I ever met in the country. It really is. You know, race relations, Jay, have been so ridiculous. I mean, things have gotten so bad. And I'll tell you something. There are a lot of angry black guys. I see the rap stars like Tupac, Shakir, and all this kind of stuff. And I see these guys, whatever his name is, I see these guys, I get very nervous. I'm very excited.
Make you nervous?
Make me nervous. I'm a white guy. I'm very nervous about it. Even your cameraman makes me a little nervous. But I got to tell you something. Look at this guy. He looks hostile. Looks hostile. Anyway, very hostile. But I feel good. I feel comforted. I think all black guys should be like Branford. I want to hold him up as an example, as a role model. He's a nice guy.
Thank you.
I hang around with him. He has nice things to say. You know what? He's nicer than Sinbad. And I love that about you, Branford. I do. That's why I love this man.
Thank you. He's a fine, fine man.
He's a fine man. There's a lot of good things going on in the show, and I'm happy to be here.
Thank you, Master.
Okay, it's good.
So what do you want to talk about tonight? We have no notes. I did not. And another thing. This is another thing. I'm listening to your radio show. Oh, Jay Leno's been trying to contact me all week.
Yes.
I was not trying to contact you.
No, your people were calling. Here's the problem. Jay still has this association. You want to get along with Johnny Carson very badly.
Oh, will you stop?
Why don't you admit it? It's true, right?
I get along fine with him.
And your relationship has gotten better with Johnny recently, hasn't it? Has there been inroads made to get along with Johnny?
I would say about a year ago.
I even saw Johnny's old producer running around here, Freddie DeCordova.
Freddie DeCordova is still with us. Fred is on staff.
He is still around here now, isn't he? I want Fred to come out here and denounce Johnny, and I want you to denounce Johnny and be done with it. Johnny, if Johnny was a decent... Come in and say this, Jay. I hope you don't get upset. If Johnny was a decent guy, he'd come on the show and he'd say, hey, Jay, I'm proud that...
No, I'll tell you something. The reason he doesn't come on is because he is good friends with many of the talk show hosts, and he's a nice guy, and everything is political in this country. If you do one, if you do this one, if you do that one, it gets all over the place.
You're too nice a guy, Jay. That's all I'm going to say.
Stop.
You're too nice a guy. Things have been very exciting for me. I'll change the topic. I know you're uncomfortable, Jay.
I'm not uncomfortable. I'm sitting here.
You're very uncomfortable. Johnny should come out here on the show and say, hey, I handed over my stupid throne to Jay. I'm going to want him to do well. Johnny was on NBC for many years. He made a lot of money with this company. It's time to come out and endorse you. You're in a competitive situation.
Very nice.
Very nice guy.
He's a very nice guy. He had nice things.
Sitting home, he's staring at a wall somewhere.
Yeah, he had very nice things to say about all of us.
Yeah, he said a lot of nice things. Won't come on the show. Yeah. Okay, now listen, Jay, I want to say something. You happen to be a great guy. I'm happy to be on the Tonight Show.
Thank you. It's exciting to have you, Howard.
Yes, there's a lot of...
Let's turn it around. Now let's talk about you.
Yes.
What about you in the talk show arena? Come on.
Well, okay. Jay, I've been very fortunate. Shut up. I've been very annoying. I have him thrown out. I have been very fortunate.
You have been fortunate.
Since my book, Private Parts, has gone to the top of the bestseller list, I think Hollywood is finally recognizing me, and they've offered me some opportunities.
Such as?
I have 3 film deals now offered to me.
You sound like a politician. What have you got that's solid? Show me something on paper.
All right, I'm in the middle of making a decision.
To do a late night show?
I could, well, there is an opportunity to go up against you and Letterman and do a late night show. And I'm going to tell you something.
I think you should do it.
I'm going to be honest with you. No. Jay.
Yeah.
I don't want to be pompous here because I like you. If I take that, it is curtains for you in the Tonight Show. It is absolutely curtains. Now wait a second,
Jay. How long would it take? How long would it take?
Within 6 months, I would have your entire audience, and I would have half of Letterman's audience.
So I would be off the air?
You would be off the air. You'd be the first casualty.
Off the air in 6 months?
Yes, you would be the first casualty.
Should we make a bet on that?
Yes, a bet right now. A bet. Absolutely.
How much you want to bet? How much you want to bet?
Well, I don't know. How much you got? I mean, seriously.
Let's be smart. Let's make it $10,000.
$10,000 it is, Jay. You're on. There it is.
$10,000.
I say it takes
for charity. For charity. I give it to
Screw charity. I want the money.
No, you give it to a charity.
What charity are you going to give it to?
I'll come up with a charity.
You know what, Jay? You take yours, you give it to charity. I'm going to keep my money. I don't have to give my money to you.
That's not.
Jay, I don't know what's going to happen.
Let's take a break. We'll come back and we'll find out more about your talk show.
Let's talk about the talk.
We'll find out more about how it's going right after. Say that on the air.
All right.
No, you say what?
I will say that.
Man.
I'm a phony.
You are a phony.
I'm an absolute phony.
What a phony. Say what you just said to me.
I said you're going to go down if I take a show on Fox.
That's not what you said.
That's it.
A liar.
I'm not saying I'm taking a show on Fox. I'm not saying anything about the late night arena.
Wait,
I'm saying if I took the show, I would win.
Howard.
And you're getting defensive
about it. If there's one thing Howard Stern is known for, you speak your mind, you always say what's on your mind, right? You don't flim-flam.
That's
right. Well, what is this late night? We doing it or not?
I can't decide what I'm doing. I cannot decide. It's a big career decision.
Look, they turn. Ooh, the crowd is turning.
Who cares what they
No, it seems to me, if you say you're going to take somebody on, sooner or later you got to take them on.
Well, how about this? I'll know in a couple of weeks what I'm going to do.
No, you said that. You said that last time.
I haven't made a decision yet.
What would you like to do?
What would I like to do?
Yeah.
Well, I would take pleasure in kicking your ass. No. It would be very sad to take away your late night show from you. It really would.
We have $10,000. It's 6 months from today.
$10,000 bet. We will.
6 months from today.
Absolutely. By the way, Branford, nice selection of music.
Second of all,
excuse me.
Don't try to change the subject.
I'm talking for a minute.
No. We have $10,000.
We have $10,000.
If you do not take a late night show, you still have to give me the $10,000.
Why would I do that?
Well, because you say you're going to come out, you're going to kick everybody's ass, blah blah blah.
No. If I take a late night, listen to me, my darling. Listen to me. If I take a late night show, I'll be the first one to have that bet with you, and I will win the bet. That's all.
Now we're changing the bet.
And by the way, Branford, nice selection of music.
Thanks, boss.
That was good. That's a little up-tempo. Little Jimi Hendrix, a little something like that. He's playing funeral dirges every night. I saw the show with Julia Roberts last night. Anybody watch the show with Julia Roberts last night?
Good. And what?
I don't know. I was falling asleep on that song.
Not because of my music. You've been smoking too much, man. We play the same stuff all the time.
Very good. How about that Julia Roberts with Lyle Lovett? Now that was amazing, isn't it? That's really something. Now how do you figure that? She'll marry anybody. She would marry, she'll marry Sinbad next. I don't know who she's gonna marry.
Wonderful guy, Lionel.
Lyle?
You met Lyle, he was on with you.
Yeah, great personality, huh? I said 2 words the whole night.
He couldn't get 2 words in with you on the show the whole night.
I suppose. Now, what do you want to know about? I want to tell you a couple of things that are going on in my career. May I do that?
Yeah, I was hoping we could get to him.
Okay. First thing, I signed a bunch of books yesterday. 10,000 people showed up to have their book signed. I was originally supposed to sign my book in West Hollywood.
Right.
The people of West Hollywood, the city council, was very, very rude.
No, let me tell you. No, I heard about it. Now, Book Soup is right on Sunset, so there's no place for anybody to park.
There was a place called Book Soup. I wanted to do a book signing there. They had permits. They had done it all legally. And what happens, Jay? What happens when I go to do a book signing? The city council says, we want $25,000 bond. We want $18,000 an hour for cops.
Not $18,000 an hour.
$18,000 an hour. There isn't a cop in America making $18,000 a year.
Let me ask you a question, though.
Yeah.
But why? Yeah. Why should I, as a taxpayer, have to pay for police protection for your book signing?
Well, the point is that whenever someone else has had a book signing in the past, they have never been asked to post a bond.
Well, only
when a dignitary comes to town, whatever it is, you
no, that's
have
not
a right.
true. No, they have been forced to post a bond.
No, they never have.
Yeah, unless someone like yourself who gets a huge crowd and crowd control, like here in California, if you fall down in the woods and they send a helicopter to rescue you, you pay for that.
You know what's amazing,
so
Jay?
you have to pay for your own police protection.
You have people on this show. You never bust their chops. I come on the air here, and now you're challenging me. All of a sudden, he got feisty. With me, you get feisty.
But you come out with you came out with erroneous information. First, you came out with a huge lie that I came in and said, don't talk about Johnny. Then you say, well, that never happened.
Well, your people came.
Now you say the cops are getting 18.
You admit your people came and told me not to talk about Johnny.
No, they didn't. Who?
And another thing.
Who is what people?
Your publicist, Haley.
She didn't come in. She didn't. I didn't tell her not to talk about Johnny.
She came in and told me not to talk about Johnny Carson.
Isn't she your publicist?
She happens to be my publicist.
Aha! Thank you very much.
All right.
All right, now the cops get $18,000 an hour. Deb, during the call West Hollywood, see if the cops want $18,000 an hour.
We'll absolutely see that.
Okay, go ahead. And what else? Continue on.
All right. Also, Branford, sit quiet. Every other night, you don't even laugh at anything.
What are you talking about, Howard?
What are you talking about? And what else? Go ahead.
All right, so anyway, I went to, I changed locations yesterday, and I went and I did a book signing.
In Pasadena?
I did a Pasadena book signing. It went very well, but my civil rights were violated, despite what you say, Jay.
What civil rights?
Jay, have you ever done a book signing?
Yes.
Did they ever ask you to post a bond?
No, but I didn't get the crazy number of people.
But how did we know how many people were going to show up? See, Jay, you're not thinking clearly. No. All right, so anyway.
But let me ask you a question.
Yes.
If you post a bond, and everything goes well, and nobody destroys anything,
you never get it back. Believe me, you never get
it back.
No, you don't. You don't get it back. Now, the other thing I'm here to promote, I'm here to promote something.
Go ahead.
I have something big going. I know you have that pay-per-view special. Jay, you're going to love this. New Year's Eve, I am having a special. I know you do your own New Year's show.
Yeah, but yours is like $40.
Mine costs money, and I'll tell you why.
$40?
Because the stuff I can do, I'm going to have a lesbian ice sculpting act on stage. And you got to admit, you can't do that on network television.
No, but I got to admit, for $40, you could get a couple of lesbians to come over your house.
Yes, you absolutely could.
Well, let's take a break.
Ice sculpt.
Let's take a break. We'll talk some more.
Okay,
and they're going to ice sculpt?
Yes, they're going to ice sculpt.
We'll talk more with Howard right after this. All righty, folks. Ladies and gentlemen.
Whoa.
Howard, sit down.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Howard, sit down.
Hey,
ladies and gentlemen, just a minute. I called the West Hollywood Police Department. They wanted Howard for about 4 or 5 hours security. It was $1,800.
Backpedal. Backpedal. They told us $18,000 an hour. I swear to God, on the life of my children, that's true.
Well, let me ask you about something else.
Let me ask you something.
No, all right, go ahead, quick.
I noticed tonight this is unprecedented. You are wearing jeans.
I know, I've worn jeans many times.
I have never seen Jay wear jeans.
Shall I, how much money you want to put on this one?
And I want to say something.
Another 10 grand?
All right, maybe you wore
Another 10 grand?
No, I'll back off that one.
Want to make it 5 or 6?
I'll back off.
Well, let me ask you something.
Can I ask something?
No, you asked me something.
I thought your jeans were too tight during the monologue.
Really?
Yeah. And
perhaps you're not focusing.
I don't know if it was I don't know what the move there was, but you have quite a huge package. Did anybody else notice? Jay, stand up a second. No, Jay, stand up. Stand up a second. Take a look at this. Take a look at this. Come here. Look at this. Come on.
Sit down.
Look at that. I won this sometime. No,
I want to talk.
Seriously, the whole time we were back there.
I want to talk to you about Rush. I see you and Rush Limbaugh. See you on the cover of Time. I see you guys battling it out.
Rush, let me explain to you, Jay, the way it is. When I got into radio, I go into this in my book a lot. When I got into radio, it was a very dull medium. There was not a lot of anything going on. It was a lot of music programming. It was a lot of nonsense kind of talk. I got on the air and I tried to make radio real again. I tried to do something interesting, something innovative. Rush Limbaugh was a failed radio guy. For many years, he got out of radio. He heard my show 4 years ago, and he went on at a bad attempt at my show. That big, fat-headed jerk. Excuse me, you asked me about him. Let me talk. Stand up and show your package. Let me say something.
But you two have you and Rush have very similar opinions when it comes to government and control.
Jay,
but you agree on a lot of the same things.
Jay, if someone steals your whole act, of course they have the same opinions as you do.
Now, how can anyone look at you, look at Rush Limbaugh, and go, aha, they're doing the same thing?
Well, I happen to have my eating habits under control, okay? Hey, listen, let me tell you something. Let me tell you something about that big fat pig who can't even control his own eating habits.
But his book is doing well.
His book is doing well because there are so many nincompoops out there who don't get my radio show. In every market that I'm on the radio, my book outsells his. He is really nothing. It's a textbook. It's horrible. I try to give people something of something. Listen, never mind all this nonsense. Get up and show your penis.
Oh, stop.
All right, listen to me. And that's a calculated move. That's to get the ladies to watch.
Well, who is bigger? Who is bigger?
Obviously, you are. Quite impressive. Quite impressive. Unbelievable. Look at Branford. You're jealous, aren't you? Look at that.
No.
Absolutely.
You haven't seen me, brother.
Howard,
Branford.
You haven't seen me.
Stand up, Branford. Let's see.
I got on baggy pants. Sorry.
You got your baggy pants on?
But I'll
Branford,
be
any
happy to
white
show you
people in
after the
that
show.
band ever?
Huh?
Any white people available to be musicians?
Occasionally when we need a few scrubs.
No white people whatsoever. Great. I'm sorry, Jay.
Go ahead, we're talking.
I want to talk. You going to ask me about New Year's Eve or not?
Oh, yeah.
Are you afraid to compete with me New Year's Eve? Is that the problem?
Mine is free. Anybody in the American public can turn on The Tonight Show and see a live show with people from Las Vegas. It is free. Your show is elitist. It is $40. Only those rich urban yuppie people could afford to buy it.
Yes, that is true.
My show is available to all Americans.
Jay, New Year's Eve, what I've attempted to do is I felt network television has gotten dull and boring. And I said, where else can I do the type of show on television?
But why is it so expensive?
I'll tell you exactly why. Excuse me?
Why can I buy a king?
Well, I'll tell you something. The audience tonight is shot out of a cannon, isn't it? And it's very easy to promote my pay-per-view special.
So it's New Year's Eve. It's a live show. Where are you doing it from?
Where I'm doing it from? I'm doing it from beautiful Newark, New Jersey, in a big theater. And I guarantee you it will be the sickest show you ever saw. John Wayne Bobbitt will be there, the man who got his penis sliced off. Yeah. It's going to be an extravaganza like you never saw.
Now, is it live?
It will be a live beauty pageant. And we are congregating that night to see the sickest acts in the world. Lots of wacky women. And who will be Miss Howard Stern 1994?
How long a show is it?
It's going to be a 2-hour show.
It's 2 hours.
2-hour show. It'll be jam-packed.
Didn't you have Bobbitt on your show? I mean, isn't that kind of tough for the guy to come on and talk about?
Yes, it's going to be tough. In fact, although it's going to be easy once we ease into this whole thing, John Wayne Bobbitt...
But you had him on already, right?
I had him on my radio show. He's going to come on TV, and the Bee Gees are going to sing a special penis song that is going to be very special. It's never been seen before or heard before. It's very beautiful. It's been composed by the Bee Gees, and you're going to go wild for it.
Now, I want to ask you about something in the book here.
Go ahead.
You donate the book to...
I dedicate the book.
Dedicate
How about giving me the $10,000 now?
Overcoming obsessive-compulsive disorder.
Yes, that's correct.
Now, what is your...
Jay, for a while, I started getting a little wacky. I was suffering from a little bit of mental illness, Jay.
I'm shocked. I'm shocked. It's good to see you're over it.
Yeah, no, it's all over. I was getting compulsive about my work. I was getting into this obsessive-compulsive behavior. You know, the guys who wash their hands all the time and all that kind of thing?
That.
I was starting to get into that. I was getting worse and worse and worse. I was getting mired in my own thoughts. And along came a guy named Dr. John Sarno, who cured me of all of that.
Now, where do you find these guys?
Where do you find these guys? You find them on my pay-per-view special, New Year's Eve. with the lesbian eye sculpting.
Is he going to be on?
No, he will not be on. He's very serious
just the
guy.
fact that what you're telling about the special shows you have a long way to go with this, Doctor.
Yes, I certainly do. It's going to be very interesting.
Yeah,
but I think you're going to like it. In fact, I think you're going to be watching it backstage from your New Year's Eve.
I'll probably check it out.
That's right.
So you just call your local and they hook you up?
Call your local cable company. They'll hook you up, and you'll be with us New Year's Eve. And then after you tape Jay's show.
All right. Look, now, can you stay for Belinda?
I would like to see Belinda Carlisle perform. She is so hot.
All right.
Belinda Carlisle is beautiful.
Stay there, and we'll come back. We'll come back with Belinda right after this.
Nobody's seen this for 100 years.